It's time to celebrate sports in Brevard County, and tonight we are celebrating the Space Coast Sports Hall of Fame inductees that represent all aspects of sports. That includes everything from softball to baseball to football to basketball to race car driving to golf, whatever sport you can imagine, including those who encourage people in sports like coaches. So all of that is going on tonight because tonight we are inducting the new members of the 2014 Space Coast Sports Hall of Fame. Joining us now is Jim Bracken, and you may not know him the most because I don't know when the last time you saw national television coverage of softball or fast pitch softball or anything like that.
Fast pitch softball, right.
So, but Jim, you made a name for yourself, and you didn't go into this as a softball player. You went in as a regular, good baseball player.
Right. I always loved baseball. It was my favorite sport. I played a little football in high school, but it was really baseball. And then I went into the Army, and the company commander called me down to see him, and I said, "Oh, what did I do?"
Yeah, right.
And he says, "No, we have a fast pitch softball team, and we want you to play." So my dad always played, and first time I stepped on the field, I knew that was my sport.
Good deal.
It was totally different from baseball.
When you look back over all the years of participating in sports now, and including the career that you have now where you actually are the coach and the teacher and things like that, what moments, pick one, that kind of brings a smile to your face that you like to remember and you recall?
My favorite trips were going to play in Caracas, Venezuela, and that was just fantastic. I mean, it was really wonderful.
Sure.
And the other time is twice I've taken my girls' teams that I coach. We went to Japan.
Nice.
2 different times, and those were my 3 favorite softball trips I ever had.
All right. What lesson do you believe? What life lesson has been taught to you through sports?
Just working hard toward goals and being part of a team and building all of that. I mean, all the individual awards that I got, if it weren't for my teammates and my coaches and my sponsors and everyone like that, I mean, I would have never even had the opportunity to do that. So,
and when you're coaching and mentoring others, what is it that you want to instill in them that they can take forward into life?
Just give it everything you've got right there. I mean, we practice playing one pitch at a time and just going for it, concentrating on what you want to try to accomplish, have a goal, know what you're going to do when you step into the batter's box, know what you're going to do when you get between the foul lines. And I think a lot of that just goes right into life lessons.
Joining us now is Wyatt Werneth, and I said at the beginning of the program that we were going to be talking about all kinds of sports, and yours is kind of almost unclassifiable because you do paddleboard, and you have the Guinness World Record for paddleboard because of distance. Wyatt Werneth is with me. Wyatt, welcome.
Well, thank you.
All right, now, paddleboard. Tell me what paddleboard is. It's hard on the knees, right?
Well, paddleboarding is a traditional ancient Hawaiian way of transportation. It was introduced to us here in Brevard County around year 2000. They came out with an 18-foot paddleboard for long distance traveling, and we started competing in them. I was a former lifeguard chief for the county, and we used to use a shorter version to rescue people.
Right.
But in 2000, we had a guy come in from California that had an 18-foot board, and I was fascinated by that. So by year 2007, I had picked up the skills, and I set off on my journey, what I consider dragging the cross for beach awareness, beach safety and awareness, because we had 10 fatalities here in Brevard County while I was the lifeguard chief. So I got on a paddleboard, and I called it The Voice of the Sea Speaks to the Soul, and I drudged for 10 days, 345 miles in memory and to bring awareness of beach safety.
Say it again. How many days and how long a distance?
For 10 days and 345 miles.
He paddled with his hands to get you went from Miami to
Jacksonville.
Miami to Jacksonville.
It was from the newest development of lifeguard headquarters to the oldest, which is in Jacksonville. They were established in 1912.
On a journey like this, do you come up with a life lesson that has stuck with you?
Well, like I said, I refer to it as kind of dragging the cross. Being the lifeguard chief and responsible for 72 miles of oceanfront, I felt very heavily for all the people who I lost that year. And so I paddled for me, kind of in memory of each of those souls, as well as to bring awareness. So what I came out of that was, my slogan was, the voice of the sea speaks to the soul. So it was kind of a soul searching.
All right, now, let's say that somebody else wanted to break your record. What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, believe it or not, someone is attempting right now. There's 2 young guys from, I believe, Massachusetts, who are circumventing Panama. And they're going for like 3,000 miles, but it's going to take them a few months. In fact, I think the last I saw, they were at about 150 miles. They haven't quite got to 345, but they're only 2 months into it.
So, and when you think back on your journey, does it bring a smile?
It does. In fact, one of the things is McGriff, who is being honored, was one of the fatalities that started my career as an ocean lifeguard. I was on the scene for that, so it does. It's mixed emotions. You know, it's exciting and it's humbling. So it's pretty cool. I'm honored.
We continue to celebrate the achievements of many people here in Brevard County, among them Kevin Deaton, who, as you can tell, Kevin probably played a little football somewhere along the line, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, size doesn't hurt in some of these sports.
Does the word New York Mets mean anything to you?
Yeah, I was given the opportunity to play for the New York Mets and their organization for 6 years, and had a great time doing it, and loved every minute of it.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you is, when you think back over the things that you've done during your sports career, just one of the items that brings a smile to your face, and when you think back on a memory and you say, oh yeah, that was a great moment?
It's funny. It goes all the way back probably to high school. We won back-to-back state championships and at Merritt Island High School, and it's one of those times where you look back and just remember those good times. And the one thing I always say that I miss is the camaraderie of teammates in the locker room, and those are the things that you take for granted. And I was blessed enough to play for a long time and met a lot of great people, and played a lot of baseball, so it was fun.
Tell me a life lesson you learned from playing sports.
That's simple. It's never over till it's over. You never give up. You keep going till the fat lady sings. You get 27 outs, and you go chase them all and never give up, and don't give them an easy one.
All right. Now, let's say there's a young person out there that wanted to follow in your footsteps. What advice would you give them as a mentor, and as what to expect as they travel that kind of road?
Yeah, it's simple. It starts early. It starts from a young age now. I mean, grades is really important. Academics is really important, and how you handle yourself off the field is just as important as on the field. And I'd say be a good community person, understand who you are, work hard in the classroom and on the field, and from there, you never know. The sky's the limit.
What I would say is that's exactly what you do.
Yeah, it's what I tried to do. I was blessed to work hard and understand from a young age that everything matters. You never know who's watching. You never know when the time comes for you to get the call. So you always got to be ready. You always got to be at the top of your game.
We're pleased to have with us the champion of volleyball here in Merritt Island. It would be Angie Patrick, and not only was she a great player, which is one of the reasons why she's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but she's also a great coach. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you.
Now, tell me a little bit about the girls and what you're doing nowadays as far as a coach goes, and how's your team doing?
Well, as far as what I'm doing with the girls, just right now we're in off-season training and getting stronger, and as far as the season goes, we're just looking forward to it. Got a good, solid crew coming back. Graduated 4 seniors, but we're excited about the young ones, so we're just working hard, getting ready for the fall.
All right, Angie, when you think back on, over the things that have happened to you and what you've seen, tell me about a moment that's either in your career or as a coach that always brings a smile to your face when you think about it.
The very first time we won district and conference, I get goosebumps thinking about it, but it was awesome because it was kind of unexpected. All of a sudden we realized, wow, we're good. We really did this.
Right.
And it was just an amazing feeling in the locker room. It was the first, run for a championship, our first district championship, and it was special. I mean, the state championship, you can't beat that, but that first moment, just seeing the girls, it was the start of something really cool.
Now, what about, some of the things that you are particularly fond of? What kind of life lesson did you learn from a lifetime of playing sports?
Life lesson. Do something if you're passionate about it, and only do it if you're passionate about it. Because it is a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice, it's a commitment, and I can honestly say there hasn't been one day that I dreaded going to practice as a player or a coach, even though our coach would kick our butts. I just wanted to be there, and that's what I tell my girls. The day that it's something you don't want to do, that's when you don't do it, but it's definitely a passion of mine, and I'm just so blessed to be able to share that with my girls, that have come through the program.
And if somebody wanted to follow in your footsteps, wanted to play a lot of volleyball and wanted to maybe even coach eventually, what words of wisdom would you tell them? How would you mentor them?
Well, I've had several girls go on to do that, and I just love seeing that because they finally understand, where I was coming from sometimes, but they have built that passion in them, and then they want to share that with the younger girls growing up. And I just tell them to really, it's about a life experience. It's not just about the sport, and to be a good mentor to the girls you're coaching, and get them on fire for it, and have fun. Be strict and lay down the law, and make sure the guidelines are there so everybody's on the same page. But just enjoy the ride, and really. It's been a blessing to be able to pour that into my girls, and honestly, that's one of the neatest things, seeing them to go on and coach. And they've been very successful at it.